All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are drawing a feudal village today. We are going to, first and foremost, please make sure your name is at the top, obviously. Everyone should have colored pencils or crayon. Thank you, Bennett. Everyone should have colored pencils and crayons. Friendly reminder, tomorrow is, you do have a quiz, of course. You also, your do-nows and quizzes. So if you were absent for any of week 6, all of your do-nows and quizzes are already on Canvas. So if you, I'm so sorry, Armand. I did not mean to push that on your desk. I think we all saw that coming at some point. That was going to happen, didn't we? I'm so sorry, my darling. I just don't have any room, and I hate my projector. So thank you, Armand. I'm so sorry. Please know that was not intentional. I'm so sorry, especially, the scissors coming at you. I'm so sorry, my darling. All right, here we go. So, our feudal village. Okay, so let's start at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the most important part of a feudal village that makes it a feudal village? A manor house. Here we go. So, you can't have a feudal village without a manor house. So let's start with our manor house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you think I'm looking for your artistic rendering to be of a certain quality? No. I'm asking you just to put a little bit of effort in. This is supposed to be fun. Okay? It's not supposed to be, I'm not looking for anything other than an attempt. Okay, so here is my manor house. So we want to keep it kind of small. I would like you to note that I am doing it in 3D. Thank you. Yes, you're drawing what I'm drawing, dude. Yeah. Okay, so I got my manor house, but it's not a manor house unless it has what, Julian? Well, I'm not going to be really drawing people in my little thing because, that would make it a little difficult. But what is absolutely necessary of all the manor houses? A wall around it. And what is that wall for, Julian?
To protect against bandits and foreign invaders.
Yeah. So, do we want a wall that's directly on it, or do we want a little bit of room?
A little bit of room.
Yeah, because it's got to hold the whole village. Okay, but we've got to make sure we have a gateway in, yes? Look at that gateway. If you're impressed thinking I'm the greatest artist of all time, you're not wrong.
How do you do that? I don't know how to draw a wall.
Dude, does it look like I do?
No, I have the artistic skills of a chimpanzee.
I do appreciate your humility on this. Dude, if I can do this, you can do this too.
What is that?
That's a wall. Okay, it got a little weird. It did get a little weird right there. And for that, I'm sorry.
I'm so confused right now.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to draw a wall.
Do the best you can. This isn't looking good.
I just draw a circle around the house.
Yeah, because that's my wall. Okay, so of course in a manor house, we got to have a door.
We draw people in there.
I mean, if you really want to, but if you can't even draw a wall, I doubt your people are going to be great, right?
Just draw stick.
Okay, we need to have some windows because unlike our village, what does the manor house have? Windows, ladies and gentlemen. Windows require glass. Do you think glass is cheap or very expensive? Very expensive. And if you look, in our early Middle Ages, most of the windows are teeny tiny, right? Why? Because the glass is really expensive, and that is the big difference. So we're going to label it Manor House, so we know exactly what this is. So we have a manor house, and who lives there? The Lord. Oh, some of you are pretty good. Some of you are not. I'm just kidding. Darling, look at mine. Can you, hi, Christian. Can you get the door for me there? Okay, so we have a manor house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a manor house, what else do you need to have? We need a road of some sort, right? Because everything leads to the manor house. So here's my road. What? Yours is good? That's a pretty damn good wall. All right. So we have a manor house. What else do we need to have? Who else is in a feudal village, people? We got our serfs. Yes. So, here we go. Now, do you think their houses are going to be big or small? Small. Oh, that's not good. Things have gone awry. Okay, their houses aren't supposed to be slanted. I'm so sorry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they're just going to have a door. Oh my God, these are terrible. Okay, let me try.
Why'd you make such a long path?
Because we're going to have other stuff going off of it.
I want to live in
You don't want the manor, you don't want your manor house right next to the village, because guess what smells really bad? The village.
Smells like peasants.
Well, yes, and guys, there's no plumbing.
Oh yeah, just drop on the
Yeah, they would just throw it in the backyard and all that stuff. So
How far did you make your path?
just to the corner.
That's. Oh, maybe I should have made my
How many miles do you think it would have been away from an actual medieval village?
They're pretty close because you want it looming in the background of their lives. It's kind of like that psychological thing that you're always being watched and stuff like that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you do need to have a bunch of little houses because most of this village is going to be populated by serfs. So it makes sense that we have a bunch of these little houses over in our little village.
That's like the village.
I guess they do look kind of big. Oops. Oopsies. I'm now making them smaller. Thank you for pointing that out.
Not to scale.
Not to scale. You are correct. Okay. However, in our little village, we have more people living here than we do in the manor, so we need to make sure. That was a pretty good house. That one came out pretty good. I have no idea. It's all complete disaster at this point. All right. So keep in mind, as we've talked about before, that these settlements, these little feudal villages, for instance, are about 15 to 30 families. Okay, now keep in mind, you would live at home until you got married. Okay, and if you were wealthy enough or your family had enough money, then they would build you another hut. It would be near your family, of course, because everything is very small and very localized. Okay. Sometimes you couldn't move right out, so your whole family is living in one room. Do you think there's multiple rooms? No, it's literally one giant living space. Can you imagine?
I would be so unhappy.
I could not live during this time period. Imagine what would happen living with your parents until you're 30 years old. Ugh.
Wait,
Yeah.
So did the girls what did they do?
I didn't hear what you said.
Like the girls.
I don't understand.
When it's like their little.
Their time of the month?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the expression on the rag? Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's what it is.
They had to.
Yeah, it's just they use cloth wrappings and stuff like that. In some societies, women would go off and sit in a tent for the 2 weeks or week. Well, think about how great that is. They have no responsibilities of children. They're all hanging out with their girlfriends from the group. That sounds ideal. All right, so we have our little serf village. So we're gonna label it so we know what it is. Okay, we're gonna have our little serf village. Okay, these are where the people are living. Okay, what do you got?
Would the other serfs be jealous of the peasants they could leave?
So it's a two-pronged thing. Just like with everything in life, there's positives and negatives. So the positives of them being able to go off, they have this whole illusion of being able to do whatever they want. But Julian, you live in a time where you can travel the whole world if you want to. But how often do you do that? Yeah, exactly. And you may have traveled a little bit, but have you traveled as far as you possibly could? No, of course. I'm literally answering your question and you're looking at your phone. That's rude. So when we're talking about, is there some jealousy? Of course there is. Just like you always want things you can't have. So they have the freedom. So I would assume there would be a little bit of, I hate this thing. There would be a little bit of jealousy. But keep in mind, on the other side, they have the structure. They have, at some point in your life, you're going to want stability, right? You're going to want to have a 401k for your retirement. So things like that. The serfs have stability. The peasants do not. Okay. So we have our little serf village over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're missing one of the most important structures. So we have our village, we have our manor house, but every single feudal village has to have what, Grace? church. Now, this is the only place where everyone is equal. I put air quotes on equal. Why? Yeah, there's still a hierarchy here, people. So we're going to build ourselves a really nice church. Now, everyone in Western Europe at this point are Christians. Oh, this is a terrible church. Oopsies. Things have gone awry. Uh-oh. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mine doesn't look good either. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Can I just make
It doesn't matter, but you're going to want to put it in between the village and the manor house because this is the only point where everyone comes together to one place. Does that make sense? Hello? It is where every Sunday people are going to report to. You spend about 6 hours in service on Sundays in the church. Everyone is sitting there together, equal, but like not equal, of course, because of course the Lord and his family gets to sit front row center, yes? And then you have a hierarchy of where you sit. It's all assigned seating, and there you go. Okay, so we have the core of our village. We have our manor house. We have our church. Okay, and of course we have our surf village. So what are some geographic features that we need to have if we're going to have a village? Valenti. We need to have a river. Ooh. This is my river. Okay, so what is an important feature that our river is going to have? Because our town is a little bougie, we're a little wealthy. What we got, Kaylee? Having fish in your river does not make you bougie. But yes, it is going to have fish, so that's nice. So we have a feeding supply. But we're a bougie village, Brandon. What does that mean? Yes, there's a mill. Do the best you can. Did you see my church? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Mine is pretty bad, and things are not going better.
I like your church. It's very nice.
Oh, your lies are sweet. Yeah, things are going awry here.
How do you even make a windmill?
It's a watermill, not a windmill.
Same.
I wouldn't watch this tutorial because it's not going well, but actually it kind of looks okay.
Oh, you're standing.
Yeah. All right, that looks pretty good. Can I get any props? Thank you. That's pretty good. I think that's my best building of the day. Hello, it's a low bar here, okay? It's a low bar. Do you see how bad the church is? All right, so we have the miller. That's what we call the person who lives there, the miller. And this is where, what happens at the miller? What do they do? We talked about this yesterday. It's really, really important. What do they do? Come on now, Mr. Miller. Oh, how funny. They grind the grains. They grind. Try saying that twice fast. Grind the grains. Okay? So, you would bring your wheat, your barley, and your oats, and it's going to reduce it to flour, and that is where, because the water is going to turn to granite stone on top of another granite stone, and it's just going to turn it until it turns to flour. Okay, I'm really proud. I'm really proud. Okay, what else do we need, ladies and gentlemen? What else you got? Okay, we're going to do the field as soon as we get our structures. Yes, because remember, Feudal Village is all based on farming, so of course we have to have fields.
Oh.
What do we need, Mecca?
It's like an area. Oh, that's what you just said, a field.
Well, we have fields. They're coming. We're just going to do them last. What do you got, Armand? Huh?
A barn?
A barn. Yes, we need a stable, ladies and gentlemen. Is it going to be closer to the village or closer to the manor house? Manor, why?
So they don't
they have horses, and they all belong to the nobles. I was trying to get fancy, and I regret it wholeheartedly at this point. You can, yeah, as long as it's on the paper. You don't have to have everything exactly where I do. I'm fine with that, but you need to have a manor house, a church, a miller, and stuff like that. Does that make sense? Okay. So, this is a fence. I'm trying to do a fence. Looks pretty good. Okay, so this is our stable. And inside our stable, you do have to draw these, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to see what they look like. We have what? Horses. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's pretty good. Okay, now I made him look like a unicorn, so that's not good. We have a horse, and then we have, I'm going to draw a pig.
Oh, I have to show you my animals.
Is it bad?
It's really bad.
That's okay. Things are going awry over here with my piggy.
Mine's worse.
Oh, jeez. So, we have a stable, we have a miller, we have a church, we have our serf village. Okay, there's one more thing we need to include. Eli? We need a blacksmith. Okay?
I'm gonna draw squiggles for my animals.
Oh, try. They can't be worse than mine.
They are. I'm drawing squiggles. Look, they're like little animals. Their tails.
All right, I tried to get fancy and I think I ruined it. Yeah, that doesn't even look like a house. Oh no. Whoa, judgy. Yes, it is.
It's like
Yeah, nothing.
a nice geometric shape.
Yeah. I'm just gonna write blacksmith above it and we'll pretend like that's what it looks like. Okay, and we'll put a horse outside. Because blacksmiths, the most important job they did was what? They were smithing horses.
Well,
Oh God, it looks more like an elephant. Ah, that's bad.
Technically, since the serfs worked in like other stuff besides just the fields, they're not all obligated to work to farm.
So a lot of your miller, your I can't remember the official term for people who work with the horses and the animals, and your blacksmith are typically usually peasants actually, who have kind of risen and built family wealth, and they go around and they settle down and stuff like that. So they're typically peasants who are doing these types of work, but not always.
Can a smith retire? I mean, can a serf retire?
No, there's no retirement. You die.
Can you like sign a contract so that you have the time to retire?
No, because why would they sign a contract where you can stop? No.
Can
The
they-
idea of retiring is in the 1950s.
So you just work the rest of your life?
Yeah, you work until you die.
Can they sign a contract so that they can not have
They've already signed the contract though to become serfs, and so you don't get to renegotiate contracts.
Yeah, but can you make a contract so that your future generations don't have to work too, or just
Nope. You don't get those types of choices. Then you die.
Like they kill you?
Well, I mean, they don't want. Then you become a burden to your family. You know what I mean? So that's not ideal. Okay, what do you got? Well, I thought you were gonna ask me a good question. Sounds good. Goodbye. Okay, so we have a manor house. We have our church. These are the two major points of our village. Yes, of course we have our little serf village. We have our stable. We have our miller, which I'm really proud of. I'm just gonna say I'm really proud of, and our blacksmith, which is an embarrassment, but that's okay. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the next major thing that we need to focus on, of course, is our fields. Okay? So, there is two major things we need to talk about fields. Okay? So, every time that we have fields, it's usually broken up into a 3-field system. Okay? So, when we talk about fields, it's usually broken up into 3 distinct fields. So, they are going to plow them with an oxen crew, which is when we're going to start seeing planting in rows. Okay, so crops are going to be planted in rows as we're starting to see because it's more efficient farming.
I definitely think Minecraft got Minecraft from this because when you're in Minecraft and you play survival and you go walk around, you'll find a random village and it has a manor house and it has all the little villagers and a workshop and fields and the barns.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Mecca, if the world has a zombie apocalypse tomorrow, what type of government system is going to pop up quick?
I don't know, but
Feudalism! Feudalism! That's what we're doing, girl.
What I'm thinking, so that we can all understand the concept of it, is all put Minecraft together.
Yes. Becca, I agree with you so much. I love Minecraft.
I think this would be a great way.
Oh, guys, we haven't put a graveyard in. We got to put a graveyard.
That's not in Minecraft.
Oh, well, we're gonna supersede Minecraft.
If you get a mod, it will be.
Okay, so here we go. Let's draw a little fence because we don't want dead bodies walking around. Little headstones. Yeah, guys, this is getting real authentic. Way better than notes. True, not true. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay, so we're going to draw in another field. What are you talking about? Who cares? Girl, look at your teachers. This is the example you had. So the example is pretty crappy. So anything beyond it.
What's the group?
The what?
Oh, that's.
Yeah, at the church.
How are there 3 fields? This is 2.
I know, we haven't gotten there yet. Well, yeah, because remember, they had to farm to feed themselves for the whole year, right? So you only get one harvest a year at this time. So they had to really make sure their fields were as effective as possible. Now, there is one thing we're missing on here, and it's the woods. Why are they going to keep the woods, ladies and gentlemen? For hunting. So we're going to draw some trees behind our manor house. Because who is really the only one allowed to really hunt? The noble, of course. Okay? So, the woods. Let me color this in here in a minute. It'll make a lot more sense. Yeah, we're going to color. Oh, and we also we have a river.
We already drew the river.
No, I know. We have a river, and we also have...
Maybe you can't see it.
Oh. Our fish pond. what goes in the fish pond? Because they can't refrigerate, so anytime they catch something from the river, what do? Put it in the fish pond. And there's just a little stream that connects the two so the fish don't die. All right, so we got the woods, and then we have a smaller field going over here. All right, so we are going to go this way, just so you can see the 3 different fields. Guys, everything is all about what?
It's like the middle of the
It is. It's completely in circles, though. But we'll draw a little road this way. How's that? All the way to the miller. Connects. Oh, sorry. I drew a road to our blacksmith and our miller. Thank you, Mecca, for sharing. Oh, yeah. This is a nice looking feudal village. Oh, yeah. It's a little what?
It's very.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I think the perception is a little wrong.
Thank you, Mecca. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that this is grains. Okay, these are grains like wheat, rye, and oats. These are going to be grains like wheat, rye, and oats. And this is going to be, Christian, thank you, my darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are going to be your beans, peas, potatoes,
Wait, what?
beets.
Why are there so many lines all of a sudden?
Dude, we farmed. Yeah. Beans, peas, potatoes, beets, and other food items. Okay, so you are now going to color in your feudal village. Now, what I do want with your lines, can you just color your lines green so they look like we have a full-on harvest? That's all I want. Okay, so you have a good 6 minutes before the end of class. I do want this colored in. The whole thing needs to be colored. I'm going to be coloring mine up here. So the whole thing needs to be colored in order to get your 10 points for it. But hopefully you see how a feudal village is set up. And isn't this nicer than doing notes? Oh, people. Nothing makes you happy.
You're right.
It wasn't until we had the color.
Yeah, it was fun.
Why?
Now we have to color. It makes me sad.
Why? Coloring should make you happy.
Oh, because what do you mean color each day?
Well, I'm showing you. All you gotta do is do green on the lines. I don't care what you say. If you're gonna be Debbie Downers about it, I'm glad we're coloring today. This is way better than notes. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will not get 10 points unless it is colored. Now, if you decide not to color it because you just don't want to, and that's totally fine. Of course, you know your girl's gonna give you partial points, but you cannot get 10 out of 10 unless it is fully colored. Is everyone clear on that?
Wait, is this good enough for the red?
Yeah, well, dude, I'm coloring mine too, so you'll see what the final product should look like. Because I haven't made one in a long time. I haven't made a feudal village in a really long time. Okay, so I've colored in the lines, and now I'm just gonna color it in nice and light. See, isn't that nice? Look at my little field. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't forget your front grass. Oh, my graveyard I gotta color in.
It's aesthetic.
It is aesthetic, and it's a gorgeous one. This is like the nicest feudal village ever. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to live here. You see that blacksmith hut?
Be the lord of the field.
I don't know, though. Being a lord is still not great. Not during this
I
time.
would just
Like
want
a
to
powerful lord. That way I can rebel against the king.
I guess, but
I can call like, say I live like in France. I can be like, I don't like the king right now.
there are better times to live historically that are more interesting, more dynamic. This is not a time I'd want to live.
I think
And as a woman, hell no. High Middle Ages would be interesting. I wouldn't mind living in the Renaissance. I mean, still as a woman, not ideal.
I think
If
I
I
just
lived
want
in
to live
Italy,
in
like
2020.
Florence, yeah, I would love to live in
But, all right, for my little pathway, I'm going to color it brown because it's a road. Oh, yeah. Now, guys, am I coloring this in this?
I think I'm done.
So I'm coloring around my feudal village. Oh, yeah. Look at this village.
Do you have to color all the floors?
Hmm?
I'll just do it so it's I feel like we should have colored the fields yellow.
Why yellow? What crop grows yellow? What crop grows yellow? Corn is an American crop, and we don't have it in Europe until after 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean. No, we're not pretending here.
She means like fields of like wheat.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You're correct.
All right, so we got a color in our river, Avi.
Blue. This looks like my 6-year-old brother.
No, he can do better work. Just kidding, Mecca.
See, isn't this what color are churches?
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna make mine
I'm gonna do
peach.
orange.
Orange sounds good.
Perfect.
All right, so for land that is not farmed, I'm going to change out my green and color it this really ugly green. So this land is not farmed, it's just kind of prairie.
So as long as we have the green, we're full point.
No,
What is this?
no, look at mine. I'm still working. Julian, you've been hanging out. You are not the ideal person to be arguing for points here.
Does this look good?
It looks better.
I think.
You got your blue river.
Don't give me a
You got your fish pond.
Yep, I got everything.
Guys, I'm looking to make sure that you have... Oh, don't forget coloring in your woods here, people.
Can we turn this in and submit it?
You're going to take a picture of it and submit.
Oh, we're taking a picture?
Yeah, that's how you submit.
Oh, we had to scan it.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, we
Like,
have to scan it?
yeah,
Oh. What?
you
Does
always.
Does the scanning show up?
Yeah, it looks really nice on my side. Oh, mine is coming out real nice.
Whatever.
Don't be jealous, Mecca, that I clearly have I'm super incredibly talented at coloring a feudal village. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's been like 6 years since my last feudal village.
Such a great feeling village and color display.
Oh, thanks. It's a real talent. What can I say? Huh? You don't have a green in your box? These are new crayons. Oh, or do a darker one. Doesn't matter. You only have one in your box?
Can I make my horses blue?
That gives you a sense of rebellion, Julian, do you?
Makes me happy. Blue horse.
See ya! Your feudal village is due on Wednesday because that is when the test is, of course. But if you're done, you can submit it now. Oh, how fun. See ya!
Let's do next Wednesday, right?
Yes, because that's when our test is. Every time we do something, Julian, it's always due the day of the test. So that allows people to do it. But as you know, I opened up the buttons earlier, so if you're done, you might as well submit so you don't have to think about it again. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Can you make sure my crayons do go back in their box, though? Please enclose it. Thank you kindly.